Hey, I'm Dr. Lana Denny, Bulletproof Babes, and I want to tell you about an Uber scam that I've been hearing about from a lot of different people, and I've actually seen this before myself. So this is how this scam works, and it can add several dollars to your Uber fare. So say you call for an Uber, and you're out in front of the restaurant, you're out in front of the bar, or you're in front of your home, and you're watching the driver, and you see arrived, but you're looking around, and they're not there. And you're like, what do you mean arrived? They're not there yet. Okay, so when that arrived button is pushed, it starts a clock. And you have 2 minutes to make it to that Uber, or I think a minute or two longer if you call an Uber XL or an Uber Black. But after that 2 minutes is up, then you start incurring charges. And those charges can vary. Uber doesn't post what those charges are, but I know they can be as high as $1.50 a minute, depending on your location and depending on how busy that ride-sharing app is at the moment. So what's the big deal? So let's just say that Uber's actually 5 minutes away from your house and it's already arrived. Then you use up your 2 minutes, and then you're incurring 3 minutes of fees, which at $1.50 is like an extra $4.50 on your fare. So now this can happen intentionally and it can happen unintentionally. So intentionally, what's happening is the driver is overriding the app and manually hitting arrived to start that clock. That's how they're scamming you. Now, unintentionally, it happens because of something called GPS drift, which means basically that there are some structures around that are distorting the GPS signal from where that car is and from where you are. And that's called canyon effect if you're in a big city and you got a bunch of tall buildings. But it can happen with parking garages, with overpasses, a lot of different things. It doesn't matter because it still costs you money. So this is how you shut it down right away. If you get an arrived message, which you'll see, right? Everybody's seen that if you've ever called an Uber, you see the map of where they are, and when they've arrived, you get this big button that says arrived. There's also a big button below that that says message driver. You want to hit that message driver and say, I'm standing out in front of 450 Post. It's 2 o'clock. It says arrived, but you are not here. Where are you? Right, doing that puts a time, date, and location stamp electronically of where you are. So if you have to fight the charges, it's much easier. So what you can do is just open your Uber app and scroll to the bottom, and you'll see 4 buttons, and one of them says activity. So press on activity, and that'll populate all the rides that you've had for quite a while. Actually, it stores them supposedly for up to about 7 years. And you can press on whatever ride you have a question about, and it'll give you the detailed billing of that. And if you see waiting charges that are false, then scroll to the bottom of that, and it'll say, get help with this ride. And then you can just simply type in that I was at the date, time, and location when the driver arrived, and he was not there. So, and that should do it, and you should get your money back. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.